Welcome to Aquaponics Solutions in Anders Farm. In today's video, I will introduce you to a client's project where we planned a grow-out system, aquaponics system for African catfish. Here you see the hydroculture part of the system where our client grows the vegetables. Now it's in the springtime, it's not fully stuffed and he harvested already. But normally it's not the biggest part for the profit. The profit is done more with the fishes, in Europe at least. But the hydroculture part is very important for high water quality. And in the next step, I'll show you the aquaculture part. These two parts are directly coupled. In the wintertime, he can run the system decoupled so that the water cycle in the aquaculture is on its own and the water cycle for the hydroculture runs in its own cycle, and water is only exchanged as far as nutrients are needed, because here in winter times you have really cold weather, very often -10 to -20 degrees. So then he decouples both systems that he doesn't get the cold water in too big amounts into the aquaculture cycle. The system here is producing around 25 tons of fish per year, and all product is marketed in direct marketing and to restaurants. Before Matthias started with the aquaponics, he had pig farm, which was not very profitable, and he was looking for a new way to make his living with farming. And so he switched to aquaponic, which is highly profitable for him. He used his old pig stall for the fish, and he built, according to our plans, the aquaculture into the old pig stall. Here you see the aquaculture part, where the stocking density is around 300 kilograms per cubic meter. It has 8 grow-out tanks stocked with African catfish, which you will see here. Here you see the pre-fetch system, where the smaller fishes are grown up until a certain size when they come to the grow-out tanks afterwards. The water goes into the trickling filters here, where CO2 is degazed and oxygen gets into the water. And the smaller fish here are around 800 fish in here, and they are grown for 2.5 months. And after this, they come to the grow-out tanks, where they are grown also 2.5 months, and he harvests the fish with around 2.5 kilograms. And he sells the fillet, but also produces different smoked products and also other further processed products from the fish. The system consists of 2 modules. Each module has 4 grow-out tanks with the solids filter here and the biofilter here. The solids filter is a brush filter, and the biofilter is a moving bed filter, where ammonia is converted to nitrate and nitrate. The water with the nitrate is pumped through the hydroculture, where nitrate is taken from the plants and the cleaned water comes back. If you look at the water is brown because that's the way African catfish wants it, and it's also because of iron chelate. But there's very, very little solids in the water. It's quite clear if you look at the... And here you see the water is pumped to the grow-out tanks via airlifts. And in addition, there is also water cycle coming into the grow-out tank through a trickling filter, so that we have redundancy. Even if the air blower should fail, should malfunction or is damaged, still there is oxygen in the water and still there's a circulation of the water. Beside this, in the corner, there's also an airlift just pumping oxygenated water into the grow-out tank. So we have an oxygen dissolved level of around 6 to 7 milligrams per liter. We could even raise this oxygen level, but with African catfish, this is really a high oxygen level. We have really little nitrogen in the water, so the water quality is really high. And here you see this system runs with 6.1 pH, which is for me the optimal level. Around 6.2 would be the optimal level for running a system with 25 degrees Celsius, and you see the sea level on top. Here we have the regulated pumps for the trickling filter, where you can adjust the water flow to the different grow tanks. And here you have for the second cycle also pH, temperature and EC level. In the prefetch tank there's 800 pieces of African catfish. You can see they are very vivid and they were fed already now, so it's not that turbulent. But it's 800 pieces of fish. I think they are around in the mid-grow-out phase before they are transplanted to the grow-out tanks. Here you can see the African catfish, which is an air breather. So even here outside of the water, he's able to breathe air.